Hey guys, I'm back. So I had to step away for a few minutes while I was recording a minute ago, but I'm back and to continue. So the first thing we did was we had the server, which was had another image on it from basically from where I ordered it. This is a U server. But anyway, so I booted the server and it had an image on already. So I created a bootable flash drive with VMware already on it, and then from there I plugged it in, rebooted the server, booted off the flash drive, and as a recap, I hit F11 for this in particular, in case you missed it, is a Dell R710, so I had to hit F11 in order to get to the boot manager, and from there I booted off the USB. And so what happened was it booted straight into VMware, and I hit the enter button, and it started the run. It started the software installation. So after that, the software installed, which I walked through, and on that super blurry screen of mine, and then I pulled the flash drive out once it was done installing and rebooted, and then once I did that, went back in there and essentially pre-configured everything through the well, actually, it went through the console per se. It was direct connect, so I had my monitor directly connected to the VGA port on the server, and then I had a wireless mouse and keyboard combo that I had plugged directly into the USB port. So it was more of a direct connect than an actual console connection, as most you would think in the networking world. So anywho, right now I have it set up to where I put my server in my rack, and we assigned it the IP address 10.0.0.23, so I have a laptop sitting in it on the same network, which I'm remoted into. And then essentially what we'll be doing here is walking through the first steps. So we're going to go ahead and type in root and then my password, and it's going to beam us straight in there. Alright, so this is the very first thing you're going to get whenever you come into your new image. I just uncheck this and hit OK. So I'm going to say this as I do with most things: licensing. Do this the legal way. Don't go pirate anything. Go to the vendor. If they offer a free license of some sort, then by all means get that. If they don't, then obviously you're going to have to pay for it in some degree, I'll say. So anyway, this right here says you are currently using ESXi in evaluation mode. This license will expire in 60 days. So you have 60 days to roam free with this thing in a lab, or what have you. But push comes to shove, you're gonna have to pay for it or hope they have a free license. So let's do a quick walkthrough. So this is the 6.7.0 image. I know that 7 is already out. I am a little behind. I do have this image, and I do have a free license for it, so that's why I still use it. And yes, to answer just to put your minds at ease, those security guys out there, I do vulnerability scans every week, so luckily I haven't had any issues yet. Cross your fingers. So this is your host information. It's going to tell you all the things about your host. This guy has 12 terabytes, and obviously some of it's used, but right there we have 2 gigs used, and then we have the other amount free, and then we have memory. We have 125 usable, and then with CPU 33 total gigahertz. So I mean, this is a pretty big monster, and I love it. It wasn't that bad. I will leave a link in the description below, so y'all be sure to check that out. So anyway, moving on to manage. So basically you go through manage, and this is all your system settings. Depending on the scenario, I'll either make this a local network time server. I said that really weird. Network time service, or I might point it to an actual network time protocol. I said that wrong again. Sorry guys, it is late right now. Anywho, so all that can be done here. And then here's your hardware. So this is all the hardware sitting on it, or in the box. And then so here's the licensing part. So right now I'm in evaluation mode. I'll assign my key later. And then you can go through this. You can kind of go through this on your own. If you're able to download the image, you can download this image and put it on almost any hardware. So don't think you have to have a 128 whatever gigabyte RAM server or whatever just to run this. You can put this on a regular desktop. You just won't be able to run many virtual machines on it. So anywho, you can run through the rest of this. With the license I have, there's a lot of features I don't have, which is fine. I mean, I don't use it for big things like this. This one in particular is just gonna be my cyber range server. So take it for what you will. Under security and users, so I never use the root. I always change the root password to something that nobody's ever gonna crack. It's like a 30-character password, all mixed up, nothing to do with any of my birthday or whatever. So that's, don't try. So there's that. But anyway, so you can come in here and you can change the authentication, put in certificates, add users, add roles. They have lockdown mode, so go through that as you will. And then under monitor, you have your performance, hardware, events, tasks, logs, and notifications. I'm gonna step back and not go into each one of these. You can do that on your own if you can download the image and install it. But that is there for you to go through. And then moving on to the virtual machines tab, this is where all your virtual machines will sit. You create and register VMs, and then you have your storage. And then right now I have, of course, my OneDrives, but I could add more to it. If you have a NAS on your network or whatever, then you can always do an iSCSI connection to it over the network. And then you come in here, so this is your one adapter, and you can configure the iSCSI here. And then they have the actual devices. So right now I've got the local Dell disk, which is basically a combination of 6 drives, I think it is. And so you can look in there and take a peek at that. And then again, I just said I wasn't going to go through all this, but I kind of am. Anywho, so and then you have the networking piece. So here's where you can add more stuff. You have your physical NICs, and I have 4 of them on this particular server. And then you can add more virtual switches, so you can have some virtual network segregation there. And then port groups. So I'll probably do another video if I don't already have one. I haven't looked back to my videos in a while. But basically, this is where you can come. And so on one of my servers, I have an easy net, a medium net, and a hard net, basically. And those are descriptions for different networks that I've created for basically doing CTFs. So you can separate all that out. That way you can basically do a free-for-all, which means that you can have people just jump in there and start scanning crap and breaking in and finding flags, or you can do a time-based, so I can just turn off a network or whatever, or shut down a network until it's time to do that. Anyway, didn't mean to get into all this stuff. The basic premise of what I was trying to get at was, hey, we got the new server. We loaded VMware on it, Hypervisor. So I want to also correct myself on something I said before, and that was that you don't get a WebGUI with Hypervisor 1. Obviously, a Type 1 Hypervisor has a GUI. What I meant to say was that a Type 1 Hypervisor is just there. It's kind of like just a management piece. You don't have an actual OS that all your other VMs are sitting on. That's what I meant to say. So to clarify that, if anybody caught that earlier and is going to fry me in the comments. Anywho, but yeah, that's the basic premise. Moving from physical server to load the VMware image and pre-configure the VMware image through the directly to the VGA port with your keyboard mouse, and then moving on to you've already put it on in your rack or near your rack or whatever. You ran an Ethernet cable to it. You've already assigned the IP, so now all you have to do is basically get on a PC that's on the same network, and then bam, load up into the WebGUI, and there you are. So anyway, guys, it's late and I have to work tomorrow again. So anyway, I know this video was a little long, and I know that I'm just killing myself over that resolution of that screen while I was trying to walk through it. So I'm going to do a step-by-step of what I did in that first piece of installing the VMware image on the physical server. But anyway, guys, I hope this was helpful, and I ask you to please like the video. Please subscribe to my channel. I'm doing my best to educate everybody out there as the best I can. I always like to say I'm not an expert, but I always like to share what I know. And yeah, so like it, subscribe to it, comment on it, guys. Let me know what you think about the video, and y'all have a good weekend. Thanks.